You guys, representation matters. Representation matters. Say it with me. Representation matters. So, before I jump into what I'm going to show you guys today, I just kind of want to tell you where this video is coming from. So yesterday I took my daughter to have a speech evaluation done, and I was so disappointed to see that none of the resources used to conduct the evaluation included any clip arts or pictures of Black girls. And that just really, especially where we are right now, as a country, it just really broke my heart because there are too many resources out there for educators to use to ensure that they are able to create and design instructional materials and resources that represent all of the diverse students that we serve. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I use Canva to design those instructional classroom materials and resources that are inclusive of all of my students and the diverse students that I serve. So let's jump into it. So I pretty much use Canva for everything. I use Canva to design newsletter materials. I use Canva to design my handouts for my workshops, my professional developments. I use Canva to design my fillable PDFs for my virtual learning space. And I even use Canva to design my backgrounds for my Google Slide templates. So even the icons and the cover art that you guys see for my YouTube channel, all of that was designed on Canva. What I love about Canva is that they have so many different icons and clip arts and what do they call them? Hold on one second. I'm going to have to go to my designs to see what they call them because it's a special word they call them. It's an easy word too. Yes, elements. They have so many elements and resources and icons and pictures that you can use so that your instructional materials in your classrooms are diverse. So as you guys can see, this is my Twisted Teaching YouTube cover art, and these are a lot of the cover arts for the past YouTube videos I created. And so I'm going to show you guys how to design your diverse materials using Canva. So one of the things, first thing I have to kind of give a disclaimer is, one thing, I have the premium version of Canva. Since I use Canva a lot, that was a small investment that I made. I think it's maybe $12 a month, but again, I use it a lot. I use it for everything. The second thing is, when we talk about designing worksheets, Canva already has a lot of templates for you to use in your classroom as a starting point. You just have to go in and change out little bits and pieces here and there, okay? So like, I'm gonna search worksheets, and when you search worksheets, the worksheet will bring up tons of different worksheets that you can use in your classroom. And like I said, when we're looking at how do we make this more diverse and more inclusive, now that's just about going in and switching out various parts of the elements that are already there so that way you can bring in positive and affirming representations of your students through those elements and the clip arts, okay? So one of the worksheets that I really like to use is a Who Am I? And I'm going to see if I can locate that worksheet. I can see I just played with it before, so it should be in my recents. All right, so here is my Who Am I worksheet that I really kind of like because I think it's a nice starting point. So now I'm going to show you guys how to go in and switch out the elements and replace the elements so that way we can bring our students into the instructional materials and resources that we create. What I want to do is, first we're going to go over to back to this worksheet, the Who Am I worksheet, okay? And so from there, what I do is I go over to elements, and really it's all about what you search and how you search it that will determine what comes up, right? So I like to be very specific with what I search. So if I want a Black student, I am going to search Black student. If I want Black student talking, I'm going to put Black student talking. So I'm going to remove her, and then maybe let's see if I can find a Black student smiling. So now I am going to go through the clip arts that I have. And it seems like these two were put together. So they picked the dress and then they picked the face and they designed that. And that gets really, really into detail and what you can use Canva for. So, but I'm just going to go with, okay, so now I have my young Black student and I am going to place her here. If I wanted to, maybe kind of do the same thing as the other one where I have her coming off, I can place her like that. Then I'm going to take that one off, and those were put together. Now, one of the things that you noticed was the magic recommendations. And so when you click one icon, usually these recommendations of what other icons are similar to the one you just picked that you can put on there. So I'm going to take him right here and I am going to put him there. And voila, I've made this worksheet now more inclusive of the African American students that I teach, more represent. They can see themselves, okay? It represents them. What if I taught maybe African American and white students, okay? So then I can put this one right here, right? There you go. Now it is inclusive of all of the students that I teach. What if I had maybe a student with a disability or something? And so I can put, I'm going to search student in wheelchair. And so there you go. You have some of the different icons of wheelchair, students in wheelchairs. So I could search this one, put this one here, and here we are. Okay, and so like I said, it is important for our students, no matter their race, their class, their gender, their ability, to see themselves in the resources and materials that we use in our classroom. And so that was just how to use a pre-designed provided template from Canva to design. So now I'm going to go back to one of my designs that I work on each month, and I'm preparing my October love box. So make sure that you look out because that will be coming soon. Subscribe to the Twisted Teacher newsletter. And so I am going to just kind of go through how I like to do my love boxes, okay, and how I set this up because this was one of the things requested. And it's really, really simple. It's all about the elements that you use and how you use them. So I'm going to just go and I'm going to add a blank page. Now, usually, to be honest, I would just copy this page, okay? But I'm going to add a blank page, and then first I want to start with my block. So this really, while it is together, it's actually different pieces put together to create the whole calendar layout. So first I want to start with, I'm going to go to my elements, and I want to start with a rectangle. Now, here's a little tip. All of the elements that I've used before, they are already here and saved. So I can just go back and look at the previous edits that I've recently used and then use those again. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start with, I want to do a frame. So I'm going to start with a frame because that way it makes it easier to get the bold lines around. So I am going to start with a frame here. I'll use this one and then I'm going to turn that frame and then I'm going to bring it in some. But then also, no, I don't like this one. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to try to do I'm going to go down here to the different shapes and let's see what shape can I get and play with. Let's see how this will work. Okay, I like this one, okay? And the reason why I like this one is because this one lets me move it out, stretch it out, and close it in. See? And you see how I'm going to get those nice little squiggly lines. So moving it out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it out to the corner edges. And then now I'm going to duplicate this, okay? So what I like to do is hit just Control C, and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm just going to paste it for however many days that I need, or weeks that I need, excuse me. And then I'm going to bring it in some more. I'm going to bring all of them in some more, just so I have more room. Now I'm going to do last one, copy the last one that I used. I'll put that there. Okay, so now I have my frame, I have the base of it. So the next thing that I am going to do is I want to be able to divide my calendar into little weeks. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for that, so I can get the days, is I have to do lines. So I want to just search up a line. I want a nice big line. So I'm going to take this line right here and I'm going to turn that line. And I am going to just use that line and I'm going to straighten it out. So let's see, I'm going to turn it into a straight and then I'm going to use that to divide. And now here's the cool thing about it. I'm going to stretch that line all the way down. And then now I'm going to take that line, I'm going to copy that line, I'm going to paste it, and then I'm going to just move that line out. So you see, now I have my days broken up. And now I want to get my nice little square boxes. So really all that is a element. And then from the element, I just want to do a little bitty square. Hit Control Z for that. I do not want a grid, but I want to do a little bitty square. So I'm going to do a square. And then I'm going to change the color of this square to light. And then I'm going to bring it in. And then, so now I'm going to take this square down to my second page. And then I'm just going to place this square right in the corner right there. And then I sometimes use the arrow button to move it over. So now I'm going to copy this square and then I'm going to paste it. Continue to paste them where I want them. You see how that one did that pretty? Then I'm just going to keep on doing that until I get all of my squares there. And so you would do that for all of the different boxes. Now, how do I get the months? So all you have to do is go to Element and I'm going to search October. And so then I'm going to use this October because this is kind of similar to the September one that I had. And then I really, really love this icon right here, this element that I use with the more teenage looking African American students. So I'm going to go to my elements and I'm going to search. And remember I told you it's all about how you search it. So I'm going to search Black students. And then there you go. They popped up. So then I'm going to add that to, I want to put them in the back again. And so last time I used the 2 young ladies. This time I'm going to use the 2 young men. And I'm going to stretch that out. Oh, wait, what do you see? It's on top of my calendar. So what I want to do is go to position. And I'm going to send that to the back. And I want to send it all the way to the back. But then I don't want it, the color. I want to make it a little bit more transparent. So I'm going to change the transparency. I usually do about 40. But let's see. So that's good right there. So then I'm going to go get my October. I'm going to put my October back up there. And then I'm going to bring October in. And then now I want to add my instructions. So I want to place my text box. So I'm going to add a little body of text here. And I'm going to stretch that out so that way I can put my instructions here. And then we want to do the same thing for now when we add our topics for each day. So now that I have my topics and I type my topic here, all I have to do is copy and paste this topic to the other days. And so that way it's easy for me to just kind of go in and fill it in. And right there, that is just a simple way that I use Canva to design my classroom resources. Again, you can use Canva to design your newsletters. You can use Canva to design your handouts and your worksheets to make them more appealing and inclusive of your students. Representation matters. I've used Canva to design my background slides for my Google Classroom that I want to use. And all you have to do is once you download it, once you've created it, you just want to download it as a PNG file and then just upload them to your Google Slides as your background. And so again, our students deserve to see themselves represented not only in the instructional materials that we're using, but all of the materials and resources that we're using, because representation matters. And so we want to make sure that we're providing every opportunity for our students to see themselves in a positive and a creative and affirming manner all throughout our classrooms. So I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that you will find a way to use Canva in your learning space to let your students know that you are willing to do whatever you have to do so that they see positive representations and inclusive images of themselves in your learning space. All right, I hope this tip was helpful, and I'm out. Bye-bye.